Hey, thanks for tuning in today. If you haven't watched a video for a while, you'll recognize a big difference. Yeah, I had to shave it off, not because people were complaining about it, but because I needed to change jobs. So that was quite a while ago, and I was actually trying to get a really good job I didn't get, unfortunately. So send me all your extra money because I'm very poor. Thanks. Anyways, today I want to talk about parasite cleanses. Now, you probably read about these. I don't know if you know anything about them. I've done them over the last 10, 11 years off and on. And if you read up on it, it kind of gets freaky. You kind of like start feeling things like itchy stuff and weird things. You read things about the parasites can come out of your rectum while you're sleeping and crawl around, things like that. And it used to be that parasites were only contained in your digestive system, between your mouth and your rectum. But apparently now, because of all the chemicals we ingest, they can be anywhere. So I've done a few of them over the years. I've just done one recently. And the first one I ever did, I noticed a side effect I'd read about where parasites could be. I didn't know this would be a side effect, a good one. So I read that parasites can be in your joints. And this may have been the reason why I first did it. Now, in your joints, like in your joint here, your knee, I had an old injury right here, which isn't really a joint, it's the shoulder, collarbone. But in the fluid, like in your joints, parasites can live there, and they defecate, and that supposedly is what causes all your pain, your arthritis, things like that. I'm not a scientist, I didn't do any research, this is just what I read. However, I did the parasite cleanse years ago, and all these joints stopped hurting. They used to hurt a lot when the weather comes. People say, oh, I got bursitis or whatever. It's going to get cold, it's going to rain, my joints are aching. Things like that. Well, that all went away. My knee pain came back after a while, and I don't really know. I've had the knee x-rayed. I've had, was it MRI, I think, or a CAT scan or something done years ago, and it looked fine. The doctor said, oh, I was a little bit aware. I don't know. That comes and goes. I think it is kind of like arthritis, maybe, because I used to kick with that years ago, playing with sports when I was younger. But everything else went away. But every once in a while I feel like really itchy, or especially if you have animals. I have the cats, and so who knows? They're most, they've been outside a lot. They don't go outside really unless I'm with them. They don't roam free. But regardless, you can get parasites from walking with no shoes on, no socks, just your feet in the dirt. So I've done these cleanses, and I never saw anything. I used to look. I'm like that. I'm going to look, and I want to see something come out, and I never saw anything. So I don't know. But it seems, to clear things up. And lately, I started feeling weird again and itchy and stuff. Oh, let me tell you, the first time I did it, one of the things you use is the black walnut. So they just say use whichever black walnut extract that you can get. And I did it with alcohol, and I don't drink alcohol. And all the extracts out there, all these extracts, vanilla, everything's cut with alcohol unless you look on the label to see what else it's done with. So it's like 40%, 35% pure grain alcohol in these. Don't go drinking them, man, you'll go blind. So it's not worth it. So anyways, I did one originally with alcohol once years ago, and you pour it, you do a couple teaspoons. And there's a thing on Dr. Hilda Clark is the one who came up with this. It's Hilda, it's H-U-L-D-A, Dr. Hilda, H-U-L-D-A, Clark. Just Google Parasite Cleanse, click on the one for beginners. So I did it years ago, and all of a sudden in this eye, because I used to see the little floaters, sometimes you see like they're like dots, like gray and white, black and white little dot patterns all the time. You're like, oh crap, my vision. You start doing the blueberries and stuff. But I did that, and after a couple days of doing this black walnut extract, this tincture, I noticed something like blocking my vision, the dots, all the little dot pattern, the gray, black, white pattern, and I freaked out thinking I'd like drank too much grain alcohol and was going blind in this eye. But after a couple days, it like settled down here, and I could see it in my vision, and then it's gone. And I've seen things, I won't watch them because they freak me out, but I've read things about where people have, they look in there, someone looks in their eye, a doctor looks in, there's a parasite, a worm or something, and that's where they say they're at. They're in the fluid. Your eye is filled with fluid. Your joints are filled with fluid. And so I'm wondering, I have no proof, this just happened when I did the cleanse, did I kill a parasite in my eye? I don't know. So anyways, I just did this, I just finished this up. So the cleanse calls for black walnut hull tincture. This is alcohol free. This is made with water. Okay, see where it says alcohol free there at the bottom? Yeah, so that's water. I had to order that in the health food store. They don't stock it. They want you to get the cheap stuff, the with alcohol. Then the next thing is woodworm. So when I first started doing the cleanse, I could find woodworm, I could find clove in the store separately. They don't have them anymore. They're not separate, and they put them in kits where it's all pre-mixed. And I've always had the best results getting the raw ingredients individually. Whenever I tried to buy these cleanses as a kit with it all pre-mixed, I never had good results. I buy stuff separate for colon cleanses and it works great. So I ordered this from Dr. Clark, their website, and Dr. Clark's store, and this is the Super W Blend. And this is, let's see if I can spin it around here. And this says Powerful Pathogen Fighter. So this has everything in it with the woodworm and everything else. So that has the main ingredient is the woodworm. That's what you want. Then the other one is clove. So these are cloves. You can buy the powdered stuff yourself, and you can also, do this yourself by capping it, buying it in powder form. I didn't want to do that. So there's the clove bulk. Does that say bulk powder on it? Yeah, I was reading it backwards. Oh, clove bud powder. Yeah. So that's all that's in that. So those are the three. And then Dr. Clark suggests doing the L-arginine, however you say it. You need to read on her website why you should do these two. You do these two if you do caffeine, if you're feeling tired. They're not necessary. You don't have to do those, but you need to do the three. You need to do the black walnut tincture and the woodworm and then the clove. And there's a little, I have it here on my computer, if you Google search Dr. Hilda Clark's Parasite Cleanse, it'll tell you it's like an 18-day regimen. I remember when I did it was 21 days. But it says you do so much of this a day, so much of these other ones a day. You got to take them all, here. The numbers go up and down, and then once a week, and then you're supposed to do it for the rest of your life. Which I'm not going to do. Eventually I give up, and then a year later, 2 years later, I feel itchy, like itchy all over. And that can be for other reasons. But hey, so what? It works. I feel better. So that's what I wanted to tell you about today. And I've done this over the last 11 years. So off and on. So this isn't just one thing I started today. It's just I've never done a video on it. But the Parasite Cleanse is good. They say you should do the cleanses. You do the colon cleanse so you have open flow. Then you do the liver cleanse to clean that out. Then you do the Parasite Cleanse. And I can't think if I know there's others. But they say you should do them 4 times a year with the season changes, which I've never done. But anyways, that's what I got to talk about today. You should try it if you've never done it. I mean, it does cost money, it does cost time, you got to do it every day, but it's well worth it if you've never done it. But first, you need to do a colon cleanse. They're real simple. Just Google search them. I'll talk about them another time. But you want everything flowing so that when you do the Parasite Cleanse, it gets them out, they don't get reabsorbed. Hey, thanks for tuning in. And I think this summer I might be able to start doing gardening videos, outdoor videos again. So I'm fully recovered from this. Watch my, if you don't know what I'm talking about when I do this, watch my videos on my surgery. I just had blood work done right there. Oh, it's gone. Coconut oil, that's all I put on there. That was today's Monday. This was Friday I had this done. So, they drew blood, coconut oil, that's all I put on it. And everything's perfect. They did blood work to make sure kidneys, heart, everything going good after the surgery. Perfect. So I'm going to get out there and try and get some exercise, grow some more healthy food like I used to do. So please give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share it across all social media channels to help us out. Thanks again. See you later.